All right, there we go. A couple times with the intro to make sure the Wi-Fi got connected. It was down to 1 bar, but looks like we're good. So if we cut off and end the show early, it's just my Wi-Fi. That's all. Don't worry about it. So we're joined tonight with Hope. Hope, how are you doing?
I am doing.
You're
It's
doing,
been a
yeah.
few days for me, but
Mm-hmm.
we're doing.
Right. So we're going to do a few topics tonight. We it's the first time doing this, so again, you can get them. Email me topics that we could talk about, or if you're in our group chat, you could do it instantly, 24/7,
Yep.
which happens quite a bit. But so, do you want to tell us about your day at all, or you want to just jump in with topics?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Hey, Delmas, what's going on? Cheryl Rich, how you doing? Well, actually, it should be a pretty interesting week or two, as we talked about the elections coming up. I when in a live stream yesterday, I was asking, and it was somewhere. I think somebody said 6, somebody said 8 days. I think it is 7 days now, right? 7 days.
It's 6 hours and some change. Or sorry, 6 days and some change.
6 days and some change. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but who's counting?
I think
So we have
all
that,
are.
and yeah, we all are. We're watching it ramp up. It's really, I feel like, ramping up now with the stuff going through X, and that's why we came up with an idea to talk about some of these. Uh, all right, calm down, Eddie. Uh, we talk about some of these topics, some of which I am allowing myself to do just this one day a week for 1 hour. Although I pay attention to it, I try to not uh, shed too much light on it, but you can't help it. I need to maybe vent about some of these topics coming up, and also Halloween. Halloween, are you handing out candy?
Am I? No, nobody
Yeah,
ever comes to my door.
nobody comes to your door.
Nope.
All
How about
right.
you?
Well, yeah. Normally, not a lot. Next Tuesday is the election, grasshopper. Oh, so next Tuesday could potentially we could be in the thick of it all
We could be.
next Tuesday. Wow. Halloween will be over by then, but I am handing out. For years, we didn't have uh, kids, that came down the street. No one decorated or anything. But this year, I'm particularly in the spirit, so I kind of went all out. I got the smoke machine ready to go, the graveyard in the front yard, all this stuff ready to hand out candy because there are more kids on the street now.
Oh wow.
So I'm going all in, and this is the first topic is what you're looking at on the screen here, right? Is Halloween. I don't know. It says this year, but I don't know why anybody would have had their candy already, but maybe they did. What's up, LSP? But anyway, what you're looking at on the screen is adults, folks. These are adults with the honor system. Grab a candy bar. There's one kid in there in the red, right there where my pointer is.
Yep.
The rest of these are adults. Look at what the adults are doing. Oh, there's 2 kids. The 2 kids are getting nothing, right? But look at what the adults are doing. Here comes a guy. He came up just to get a couple at the end there. Make sure they got cleared them all out.
2 years.
2 years. Oh, 2 years old. But anyway, so if you scroll through down here, here's what it says it's going to turn into from now on. This Halloween vending machine. So you have to put your money in the slot. No more honor system. We can't trust these adults. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I just keep focusing on the very large spider behind the vending machine, but
Oh yeah, look at that. Would that scare you? Would you walk up there?
I would walk up there, but
Yeah.
I would think I would be in Australia or something.
Yeah, that's a huge spider. Yeah, I have a projector. It shines Jason for Friday the 13th out onto my garage. Yeah,
Oh,
sure
wow.
wish somebody would have jumped out and scared him. That would have been great.
Right.
They probably weren't home, obviously, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, thank God for the ring door bell cameras that are captured everything. But yeah, I kind of went all out this year. I'm kind of in the mood. Can't wait to play with the smoke machine and everything. So yeah, we're
Are
gonna
you
do
gonna
that.
dress up too?
I don't know. I used to. I've got a couple masks. I showed you the Michael Myers mask, but I don't like
Mhm.
wearing masks really. So it would have to be something without a mask. Normally, I have some pretty cool shark hats that I just put on, and I'm a shark, right? But
Okay.
I can't find them. So, uh, upscale neighbor, are they really? Oh, electric razors and candy. But electric razors. It takes a while for that one to sink in. Electric razors, a garage joke, a
Oh
dad joke.
goodness.
Okay, that's how we remove this. So that's that. That's the Halloween. Halloween's coming up on Thursday. Oh, well, we just went and got pumpkins today too, so we're all set. We're all set for. Oh, actually, I have a pumpkin right here, right
Oh
behind me. I got
wow.
a little one for the
Aw.
studio. Yeah, and of course, the boo bucket too is back here. So
Now,
about to
do
get
you
some candy in
paint
that.
them or do you carve them?
Grass here all week. Well, I don't. Yeah, I think this. Well, this one I'm just gonna leave alone like that. It's pretty cool. It's like
Mhm.
blended different colors.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think I'm gonna carve the other one. I think last year I got him, and I just never carved him. I think. Um, but I think I'm gonna carve him this year. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's Halloween in 2 days. Get ready, folks. Okay. All right, let's start with another topic. Halloween was one topic. That's ran its course, I think. But here's one. Um, I want to see if I can find this here. The exact quote. No, I can't. Darn it. Oh yeah, this is this one. Yeah, Delmas has been missing out. What are you missing out on, Delmas?
I don't know. And your microphone is off.
Whoop, that's better. I will wrap the whole thing up. We'll do some topics, and then I'll wrap the whole thing up with like 3 Halloween movie recommendations. So stick around for that. Um, so yeah, I wanted to find this. I had to screenshot this because I know Garage just fact checked me that Halloween is um, 2 years old. But with all these, yeah, definitely fact check me immediately if this happened in some alternative universe or this happened 5 years ago, or possibly it didn't happen. This one I think did happen because I saw the video. Um, and and I'm talking about The View, right?
Okay.
So The View started in 1997, right? So with Barbara, I think it was Barbara Walters production.
Mhm.
And I can't remember watching it then, but just combing through the Wikipedia a little bit. I remember watching in '03. I don't know why. Maybe I was eating lunch or something or breakfast, and I turned it on and it was on, and I still watched cable at the time or whatever. But I remember those days they had Elizabeth Hasselbeck, I think, who repped the right side pretty hard. I remember, like
Mhm.
almost in an annoying way on The View. And I was trying to think back to, well, before that, I just didn't watch it. But then I probably stopped watching or paid attention. But I didn't know if she was maybe the only one that came from a right side perspective that was ever on The View, or did they have other ones? I don't know because I don't watch it. All I do is see clips now. But I don't think they have that sort of opinion now or allow that sort of opinion to happen. Or probably maybe since Elizabeth Hasselbeck, like in 2003. Have you watched it enough to know if there's ever been anybody else that came from sort of a right side?
No, I haven't really watched it, but wasn't the what's her name, Megan McCain? I don't know whether she would be considered, conservative. Wasn't she the daughter, granddaughter of John McCain? Wasn't she on
Okay.
there?
Maybe she was. Yeah, that's why I was asking because there was a big gap when I stopped watching cable altogether, and that was about whenever Elizabeth was on '03, '04, '05 or something. Uh-oh. alarm. So so I didn't know, but I do know recently they've made the headlines just constantly, and so sometimes I
yeah.
think, are these opinions on there? And this will tie into Rosie O'Donnell too, who also
Mhm.
was on The View, right? She was on The View at one point.
Yeah, I think she was.
So here's kind of the question. Here, I'll state. Well, first I'll ask. Some of these strong, harsh, like angry, shameful views that they have on The View.
Mhm.
Do you think that these people really, in real life, when they go home, believe this stuff?
Oh
Do you
yeah.
think that's who they are? That's who they are.
Mm-hmm. I
And
do think like that's how they are. And it's because I do have a lot of liberal friends that they think exactly like how the View people think.
oh, really?
Yeah. Or even
So,
further left.
yeah, which is fine, but what I don't understand, and I'll get to this statement in a minute, but made by one Whoopi Goldberg today, I think. But how why are they and again, Rosie O'Donnell, always with the angry videos. What makes them so angry? Where is this anger coming from? And also to tie in this whole sort of presidency, it's been like a threat, right? Always threatening and stern and
Mhm.
yelling. And where is this anger? Where is this anger coming from?
I think a lot of it has to come from things that were told to them that, they're like, oh, the Republicans are the issue here, here, and here, and here. And they just get angrier and angrier and angrier. Like the whole Madison Square Garden, what do I want to say? The Madison Square Garden
Yeah, not
rally
A,
to
not B, but not,
right.
right.
And they were
Yeah.
like completely upset and like in meltdown mode on MSNBC over the comparison between Trump's rally and a previous rally that was held there in the 30s.
Right. Now, I saw, of course you're going to see videos from all sides, but I saw a video, a guy who, went through all that stuff that happened at that point, and he was unhinged, mad that they were even using that reference.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is why I'm asking, like, do you think that this is who these people really are? Because do they believe that? Do they really believe that they're comparing a speech to those horrific events?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, there are some people who believe anything that the mainstream media says. There are people who, believe hook, line, and sinker what any political party says. And I have family members that believe that. I have coworkers that believe that. Like, and they I tell them one thing, and they're like, "Oh, like the news said this," and I'm like, "No, like you don't believe that."
Right.
But it's how can you open somebody's eyes when they don't want to have their eyes open?
Right. And it shows you, again, I'll get to the statement in just a minute, but it does show you like how deep and long of a process this has been planned.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the people that you're talking about that won't wake up, I mean, and when you do wake up, right? And I think mine was from traveling and learning all the misconceptions about literally everything I was ever taught about anywhere, and talking to people, going to those places and talking to people, no matter how wealthy or poor, you generally found great people all over the world that were just like you and me. They just wanted to live their life, right?
Well,
that became a truth for me from traveling. And then once I woke up, right, once my eyes were wide open, I could never go back. And not only that, it looks so goofy. Right. It really looks so goofy. Everything, and that's why it's hard to go through and find stories, and you almost want to fact check yourself, because everything looks so staged now, you know.
Right. Well, like the walkaway movement. I don't know if you were in
Oh,
Petty
yeah.
Black's stream when he was at that
Yep.
movement, but they also have the Facebook page, and it's for those of you who don't know, it's Democrats walking away from the former Democrats walking away from the Democratic Party to become conservative, and they tell their story and they tell why they quote unquote walked away. And then and they go through like this, that, and the other of why they walked away and how their eyes were opened. And to see that in action the other day, how they were at UC Berkeley and the room was filled with college-aged kids and they were asking questions, and just to see that their eyes being opened in a way, and even like seeds being planted, being like, oh, like they're not all the way that the mainstream media said.
Yeah, that was a great event. I did catch some of it till I think Eddie's stream went off for backup or whatever. I think I ended up catching back up to it, but yeah, they were some moving, definitely some moving testimonies, especially the one that I definitely saw the whole story was the girl, the young lady that was an actress, who, just got shunned right from everything for opinions, and we saw that with a lot of people at that time and recently now. But yeah, I did see that's a good one. It's on Eddie Block's channel. I think it's still up, right? That's still a video on his channel. Go check that out, because that was actually, that turned out really pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, and that's a great example, girl. Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh yeah, right. Eddie was talking about her last night. Where, yeah, there are a couple good comments here. Cheryl says they get paid good money to raise your blood pressure. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Do they really feel? Are these people really? How much of it is that? And LSP says they make money off anger and they know how to give it life and people.
Right.
And because and that's why I'm asking these people. And we live in such, everybody, you can't even turn it on. Like you can't. So if I'm just ignoring the political ads, being, we're set 6 days and how many seconds away from the election now?
Right.
But you can't turn anything on. Even if you want to ignore it, it's all ads. And again, it's all slander ads. That's all that it is. There's no issues. It's all just slander. And the only issues that there are in this election cycle, in my opinion, are just rehashed popular hits that they drug up from the 60s. That had been solved, right? All these issues that they're bringing up now, in my opinion, had been solved, right?
I've gotten what you're saying, like you can't get away from it. I have gotten 8 text messages today.
Yeah.
About all political things. Like, it's insane. Like, you just can't get away from it, even if you want to.
And that's why I thought we'd do, just do 1 hour and we'll talk about some of these topics. Again, if you want to get a topic in, just email me at my email, or we'll get them from the group chat, or just turn it on Twitter. But anyway, so to make this topic longer than I think it's supposed to. Did I set my stopwatch on this topic? I don't know. But anyway, it's a good one. It's a good one, and it spans off in many directions. But and I haven't even got to half of it yet. So yeah, the rhetoric is definitely LSP overwhelming. And it's a state of constant anxiety. Like, you remember when things were funny? Remember when you could tell jokes and things were funny and you could have a good time? But it's that rhetoric, that is just irresponsible. And and I'm telling you, this is there's two things: the advancement of technology that we're always connected to, and that I think that and the greatest generation has almost died off because they would have never, these people would have never tried this with these people, with real men, right?
Right.
It just wouldn't be a lot on the airwaves. This is what Whoopi Goldberg said today. And I don't know, we can fact check me, we can fact check her, maybe, and I don't think, oh yeah, she does name him. I was going to say maybe she didn't name him, but she did name him in this. She went completely unhinged, and she said this on national television. And I'll accept it, I'll allow it if he said this stuff, but I can't find anywhere. And if you're watching this in the future and you see where he said these things, please attach a link or quote it. And then I'll apologize for being a little less calmed down about this subject, because this is what she says on national TV today. She says that T-Man is going to break up interracial marriages.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to deport the wives and put the white guy with somebody else. This is certifiably insane. They're losing, and it's making them go nuts. That's her quote today. But I said it very calmly and almost tolerable. She was unhinged. She was like all over the place and like this. But I think that now I know laws been passed that as far as communication, right? Like, so the news can completely lie to you and they're not held liable. And all the companies are owned, bought and paid for. But this stuff like that, like this quote today, because I don't think that, I never heard him say he's going to put white guys with someone else. I've never heard. I'd want to know that because I'm a white guy, I'd want to know if I'm being put with someone else. What kind of irresponsible nonsense is that? But you're right. Now your friend might listen to that and say he said that.
Right. It is National Cat Day, so I have to show my cat.
Oh, okay. Happy Cat Day. Yeah, LSP's torturing himself. Look at his comment there. Yeah.
I heard that she's closing her speech on the ellipse right now, and I saw.
Oh, that's right. We were watching that earlier. Wondering what was the deal with everybody. And
there are a lot of people there, but I mean it's Washington D.C., so it's not a very good caliber of where the states are, because you don't see the pictures from her rallies.
Right. We saw a monkey though. We saw live coverage of a monkey. We saw live coverage of a monkey. Breaking news.
Right.
There was someone dressed up as a monkey walking down the street, and we couldn't figure what it out was at first, really, because it wasn't real discernible. But Cheryl Rich. So that's going to be our next topic, I think, when we wrap this one up. I think 10 to 15 minutes. I said this one we could just do this one subject, because what it comes down to me is obviously the outcome is we need things fixed in this country, and we're not going to do it with slander ads and what appears to be, again, if this is right, if this is true, and where he uttered the words that he's going to put white guys with someone else, please leave it in the comments or pin the link, because then I'll come on and I'll apologize. But the thing is, this stuff is irresponsible. But again, it's not, I guess it isn't irresponsible if your outcome is chaos, right? If you want chaos, this is the kind of things you'll do. But what would it take for you to do this kind of stuff, participate in what appears to be complete lies? How much money is that worth?
Yeah, I mean, how much are they being paid? But they got people to her rally. I don't know where it was. It was one with Beyonce, by saying that there was going to be a free Beyonce concert, and then Beyonce didn't sing, and people were booing her. So
yeah.
I mean, not booing Beyonce, but booing Kamala.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised. Again, and next week I'll be more prepared with some other things that I saw later in the day, like Clinton's speech today. Again, I think it was just like this Goldberg rant today on The View.
Mhm.
I think a lot of it's made up. I mean, and why I was asking earlier, do these people really believe this stuff? Is because I remember whoever was running against Obama the first
Mitt
time.
Romney,
Okay, I I
the
remember.
second time.
Oh, the second time. Well, the first time I remember this guy I know, uh,
I think it was John McCain that did the
McCain.
first
Yeah, it
one.
was McCain. He really believed that if McCain was elected, he this guy believed it. You know, he was on the left, but he really believed that if John McCain was elected, that everybody with tattoos would get round up. You know.
Yeah, I remember hearing that now that you say that.
Yeah. Yep. And I remember, I think, I don't know where we were having this discussion. This is when I tried to ignore politics, and I did a pretty good job. I think we were in Spain and I was trapped, but I said to him, like, you really think he's going to round up got people with tattoos?
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. This was a grown adult that probably heard that, either heard it and then just believed it, or heard it and wanted to believe it, or that's what I'm saying. It's like, how much programming are we dealing with? Like,
Mm-hmm.
are we really, when we're confronting these people or having a discussion and they're so angry, how much of it is just programming, and how much of that could you go on a vacation, get away from it all, turn off everything, and then they would slowly come back to life, like ease back into a person that's not unhinged? Is that possible, or they're just gone? You know?
I think a lot of them are just gone.
Yeah.
I think it would take a lot for them to be deprogrammed or whatever. For example, like I posted, so after Hurricane Helene, I was posting a few things about the hurricane recovery, and you know, people going in themselves and posting it on Twitter, and it was from an AP Hill Confederate legacy, and AP Hill was a Confederate general, and that is what they focused on. It's like they want to bring back the Confederate flag, and they stand for the South, and it's like, you're missing the point. I didn't mention anything about politics. I'm posting about this.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know when it happened. Obviously, you know, I remember. Well, I'm trying to think when it happened, when the flag was the big topic. You know, it was like maybe 10 years ago when that popped up again. You know,
right.
And I was in Florida when I was 18 years old, and I got a tattoo of this like cowboy skull on my leg, and it had a bandana on it. But this guy down in Florida, he didn't even ask. He just made it the bandana Confederate flag. So it's not like I asked for that or wanted it, but he was this big giant dude. I didn't know what he was doing, and I was scared to stop him anyway. But as far as I mean, so what I'm saying is, like 10 years ago, I was like trying, you know, never to wear shorts to let people to see that, you know. now it's kind of disappeared. But like in my case, it doesn't mean anything either way. But, and again, it's not a hate flag for most of the people that I met, right? You know, but they have canceled things like, the General Lee, and you know, it's just, you know, I had a discussion with my daughter a few years ago. It's like, you might not like something, but when you start you're going to cancel things. Eventually, your things are going to be canceled too. You know that, right, folks? You realize that some things aren't great, but people do have rights, just like you know, or just like I do, you know. But yeah, it's crazy. It's a really wild that they're going to focus on the flag in that case, or just anything that causes anxiety. It's just bizarre and wild and crazy.
Well,
all right,
like you brought up General Lee, and I mean, you wanted to move on to, I know, the Rogan interview. So
no,
here's
go
your
ahead.
tie-in.
What's that?
Here's your tie-in, because during the Rogan interview, they were talking about General Lee and how he is such a beloved general and how he was one of the greatest generals that ever lived, if not the greatest. And Trump was saying like, oh, like, we'll go and like I've mentioned him, so the media is going to go crazy that I
Hi,
mentioned
Blackwatch,
him.
by the way. Hi, Black.
And
hi, Pam. Go ahead.
I mean, he
All right.
was one of the greatest generals, and now they're taking his name away from everything. They're renaming, schools named after him. They're renaming it. They're tearing down his statues in the South. And I mean, he was probably the greatest general who ever lived in his era. I mean, he was brilliant. He was so beloved. I don't know what else to say about him. Like me from the North.
Well, here's what it appears to be from an outsider. Okay, I'll be the outsider.
Mm-hmm.
It appears in every way, shape, and form, history is being altered.
Mm-hmm.
And see, here's why I stopped watching sports. Well, it was when they were putting all the messaging all over the field and stuff, and telling us what to do and shaming us, the people that are paying their salaries, the customers. They were shaming us. That's when I gave it up. I still do lightly watch it now, but I live in Cleveland. I grew up with the Cleveland Indians, right? And we have local talk shows. We have chiefs of Indian tribes. The reason they were even called the Indian was honoring one of the great Cleveland baseball players. That was, yeah. So that is why I would never. Now they're called the Guardians. I would never buy a Guardians thing because I'm angry, and people can't believe why. But number one, I have a little bit Blackfoot Indian in me, so it was always a form of pride when I was a kid. I loved it, Well, on the guise of being respectful to Indians, they changed it, which, in my opinion, the reason I get so worked up about it is because that's not the reason they changed the name. That is not the reason.
No.
Out of respect. I wonder if they really believe that, because I think that because it was made to honor the Indians. And I think that is one of the topics that will be eliminated in the future.
Well, like Aunt Jemima, the syrup, the pancake syrup, it was to honor her. She did amazing things, and we just completely erased her memory.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating, but that's the reason I don't watch it. Some people can't understand. Oh, why don't you? Because I don't like being dictated to by people that have an obvious agenda. And see, they can say it's to honor somebody, but if you're awake, you can see that that's not why they're doing it. They're not doing it to in any honor. And that's also like remember when Joe ran in a couple of days ago? He ran in for no reason. Like this is what kind of show are we watching? Remember where he ran in and he said he was going to honor the Indians, and then he ran away.
Yeah. That's why he was going out west.
He's going out west to honor the Indians. Like, what are we watching? What is it that we're watching here?
Yeah.
And it's only going to get more ramped up and bizarre. It's going to get more bizarre.
Yeah.
So this is maybe a good time to start doing this 1 hour, 1 day a week with just so I can come on here and I can ask the chat and I can ask you, have I gone crazy? Let me ask you, have I gone crazy? Have I gone nuts? What's going on? PB, have I gone crazy? Good to see you.
PB, they did that at my college. Like, we were the Indians, and of course you can't be the Indians.
Oh, they got rid of that Indians too, huh? Yeah. But certain Indians are still around. Like there's, minor league team called the Indians. I think you still have some I don't know, college. I don't know. There's still more, which I'm sure they'll like college. Yeah. College football, the Seminoles, you got stuff like that. Which oddly enough, I got a awesome Seminoles hoodie for free not too long ago. Yeah. It says, question to Sam. That's what I think. I mean, it's just it's so bizarre. I can't believe. Luckily, we have individual owned radio station here. I mean, you could listen to it on the internet, so I guess you could be anywhere, but it's cool because it's local. That they talk about all this stuff every night, and that helps me keep my sanity
Mm-hmm.
because it remind and the guy that does the talking, he's a scientist and a weatherman, and so he brings out these points that I often wonder if I'm going insane. He brings them up, so he kind of brings me back to earth. That no, you're not going insane. This is very bizarre. We're living in a very bizarre time.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to
Oh,
get more bizarre too if a certain party,
yeah,
use air
PB's.
quotes, wins next
Oh,
Tuesday.
yeah. I think either way. Now,
Oh yeah, either way, but especially if another one wins.
And like on your show, like on your show the other night, that's what we talked about when I started streaming. It was from Video Matt.
Mm-hmm.
We went on that election night 4 years ago, and there were about 8 of us, and we were all on screen, and everybody knew everybody's, side or whatever, where they stood.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went around, and when they got to me, what's my prediction? I predicted exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy that was, into Trump, he was going on, starts yelling at me, and he's going, "How can you say that? What, And I said, because I think that something crazy is going to happen tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went to sleep, man, did it,
Yeah.
And I just had a hunch. It just felt weird, and it feels like that now. It feels like either way, it's just going to be the people that are going to suffer are the everybody that's not involved.
Yeah.
But so.
But do you think if something happens,
Yeah,
that night, do you think that the results will be accepted by whichever party, quote unquote, loses?
well, that's one of the things that was in the group chat where it said
Mm-hmm.
that Nevada, I don't know if, again, that could be fact checked. If this isn't true, tell me, but it said something about Nevada was going to wait 3 days
Mm-hmm.
before certifying it for unmarked,
Right.
ballot or something. So if that's not true, it's not true. But so that crosses the line into a hairy thing. Remember, if it, like, back to the hanging Chads thing, what did that last? A week or so?
That lasted a few weeks, I think.
Yeah. So back then it was, you heard about it. You heard about it on the nightly news.
Right.
It was in the newspaper, but you weren't bombarded with it like you are now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you imagine if something like that happened, where there's a 2-week period?
Oh, all the streamers would be down there. It would be all over mainstream news. It would be all over everywhere.
And how much is going to be tolerated this
Right.
time? For instance, on this platform or any other platform, how much will be tolerated? Am I allowed? Again, we live in a place now where we've accepted being censored, massively censored. And they have that power because they have these large platforms, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you want to be seen, Facebook, I don't know why anybody puts up with that, to be
Right.
honest with you, but yeah, something's crazy. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, girl. We'll get to that one. I think we're still on Rogan, but the
Yeah.
thing is, like, I can never find a show. I think that was a topic, so everybody couldn't find the whole show. But it's not just this show for me. It's all the whole shows. So I'm stuck to just watching clips. Okay. And I don't know if you've ever seen David Lee Roth on Joe Rogan. Have you seen that?
No, I only watched Joe Rogan when Trump was on there. I
Yeah.
don't really like him that much.
And we'll get to the Trump thing in a second, but I caught David Lee Roth last night, and he is very eccentric. But that's because he studied karate all over the world, and he's had a lot of life experiences, and sometimes that makes you sound crazy to other people that haven't had all these experiences. And he's very eccentric. But I was listening to him last night, and what used to be like, it used to seem a little bit crazy to me. He sounds like the most sane person in the world to me now. Yeah. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. But yeah, I just happened to catch that. But yeah, I think Joe Rogan's went with Trump 3 hours. I didn't see the whole 3 hours. Uh, it, I mean, it looked like it was going pretty good. I know
Mhm.
the interview. Rogan? I think somebody said something about Rogan. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can find the whole thing if you go directly to his YouTube, but there's shadow banning. Like if you just search for it. But if you go to
oh,
Joe Rogan podcast on YouTube, it's there. Um, but who was it? Somebody said today that Rogan is interviewing JD Vance tomorrow.
oh, that's right. Yeah, somebody did say that, and that should go too good too.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I don't know if the invitation was extended to the other side,
It
but I
was.
know, yeah, it was extended to the other side. The other side would never do that, not in a million years. Especially, can you imagine a 3 hour interview?
Well, they were saying today on Twitter or X or whatever the heck you want to call it now.
You're
But
right. Yeah, X
the
marks the
the
spot.
argument was it's like, oh, it would be so much easier for Kamala if Joe Rogan goes to her because of the Secret Service. A, Trump has Secret Service protection. B,
Oh,
Kamala did another podcast interview in a location, I believe it was Los Angeles. So I don't really see the issue. She just doesn't want to do a long format podcast where she actually has to think.
yeah. There's no way because here's the thing. It's kind of like being censored. Uh,
Right.
if someone censors you, that pretty much it's it's again it's telling us it's a lot of the time, in my opinion, it's not because you are lying, it's because they are and they want to cover it up.
Right.
I mean, if we could all just grow up and agree that, if somebody feels the constant need to fact check me, they have an agenda, right? They have an agenda. I'm not walking around trying to fact check everybody. And guess what? I don't have an agenda. So I don't care about anybody. To be honest, you can do whatever you want. You
Right.
can have all your views, opinions. I don't care. I'm not going to spend time trying to change your mind because, again, let me repeat it. I don't care. It has no effect on me unless again you're encroaching on me or fact checking me.
Right.
Then it starts to irritate me because I'm not doing that to anybody. I'm not doing that to you or anybody else because I don't care. Again, I'm not trying to push along an agenda. And it goes all the way back to the beginning. It just makes me, I just wonder how much of those people's souls are left
Right.
that they're even involved in all this stuff. But she can never go on there because she's got things to hide. And like any even a fifth grader, doesn't even have to be Joe Rogan, could stump her and get her
Right.
stumbling like 5-6 questions in,
Yeah.
because why? Because she's probably hiding something, right?
Right.
Or pretending to be something she's not.
Well, on that topic, like one of my friends has recently got into politics. He's in his 40s. He's never been political in any sort of way. Like when we start talking about politics, he's like, you know what I just found out? I'm like, what? It's like, Trump is a Republican. And I was like, yeah. Like it was
Wow,
complete news to him.
he just found that out. He
just found that out.
And here's what's scary, folks. This guy's going into politics.
But so what I told him is like, like I was talking to him about certain things, but what I told him is find out what you believe for yourself and stand by that. Like, don't let other people sway you because you don't, because I asked him, I was like, do you not like the man or do you not like the policies? And certain things like that, like get people to think, because it's like, you think of the Democratic Party, you think of Kamala. It's like, do you not like her or do you not like the policies? Do you, that sort of thing is to get people talking about other things other than, the head figures. And one of the things I always say is go to isidewith.com and take a political quiz. And then after you take it, it's a very short quiz, but then you can go more in depth with it, and it will break down everything. Like, it will tell you like what percentage you are socialist, what percentage you are anarchist, what percentage you are constitutionalist. Like, it will break it completely down for you.
Yeah. What was that again? That sounds like a good website to visit. What is that?
I'll put it in chat. And then another thing I tell people is to go to Ballotpedia, because you can put in your address and you can pull up a sample ballot, so you can see exactly what will be on the ballot, what will be on your ballot on election day. And you can see, like, if you vote yes for this, it means this. If you vote no for this, this is what it means. You can see, like, if the candidates who are running, who endorses them, what they stand for on certain issues. So what I always say is do your research instead of going to your polling place, reading this very confusing bill or text or whatever it is, and then you're voting on what you think it says instead of what it says.
Yeah. Wow, that's good information. And that's and again, the isidewith.com, I wrote that down. I'm gonna do that and encourage other people too, if after I do it and see what it's like. But if you're recommending it, I believe it. But gosh, this is what we're saying. This is the opposite of what these topics we've been talking about, is what you just said. What a rational thing to do, folks. Go and explore your own mind and take questions and roll them around in your head and see where you fall. But yeah, because we get caught up. We know that we get caught up with the traps, and the traps are what you said. They are the people. All right. So I've seen so many people lose their mind that they were going to move out of the country, harm themselves, cry, grown adults because of the T-man, because so, and again, with the other side, but yeah, it would be interesting to find out how many people might take that test and, maybe policy wise be on the other side than they are now. I don't know if that would happen a lot, but it might, or a little bit, or also, I know when I first started streaming, I had a couple of times, people would just come up like on the left, and then they would start. You remember the guy? I think you remember the guy.
I remember that guy.
Yeah. And then he was telling me by the end of the conversation, he said, "I think you might be left wing," and I said, "No, but I'm not. But I also I'm not hateful. I don't care. I do have an open mind, right? But so I don't know why he had to label me like that. But yeah, you remember that guy? That was
he was real quiet after I talked.
Yeah, after you talked, yeah. But that's the guy I'm talking about. And then one other guy too that came up, and then they came in to for one reason, and that was to troll, and then they left like semi-friends because they realized no one was in there trying to change their mind about any of their topics.
Right.
And so that's kind of a misconception. Like we saw those couple individuals break down because they came in just to hate, not even asking any questions. And maybe you're on both sides and you do that. Right. So it's weird, but we've been, that's happened on here more than once where someone came in. I will say,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to wrap it up. They just came in to hate. Then they stopped talking for 2 seconds and realized we had a lot in common. And that's what it's going to take to make changes is we're going to have to get along with people,
Yep. You have to be able to talk to people. One of the things about that quiz that I told you guys about on I Side With is if you choose yes, no, or you could say other, and I believe that's the third choice. And if you choose other or another answer, I forget exactly what it is, they will give you a drop-down menu with like 6-7 different things that they've heard, like yes, but, no, but. So it just isn't a black and white answer either. You could agree partially with something or that sort of thing. So I mean, it gives you, it's like, let me think harder about this question on, whatever it would be, the environment or, whatever.
Right. Yeah,
So,
that you say that, like a lot of the green stuff angers me. It's hard for me to calm down with some of it because again, it's more shaming. Like if you don't come along with this, if you don't let me mysticize you with all this stuff I'm saying, and you don't come and believe everything we're saying, then you don't care about the environment.
right.
It's like this trick. Like, I only can care about the environment if I give up certain individual rights. I don't get it.
Right. Well, I mean, talking about the environment, like recently, the founder of the Weather Channel was on CNN and made a claim that CNN didn't really agree with. It was very interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a whole nother, that's another topic we'll have to put in there, but yeah, it's a wild one. And, so CNN you think that they were taking a, what sort of stance? I missed that.
They were talking about climate change, and they were talking to the founder of the Weather Channel about it. And the Weather Channel said, no, it's not a thing.
Well, this is the guy that I listen to on the radio at night. I'll listen to him probably tonight when we get off. He used to work at the Weather Channel. So, and he is a scientist and weather guy. So there's people that are into weather, but this guy is like, I mean, he's all into weather. Like, that's his thing. And I trust this guy's opinions. And yeah, I'm sure he was on the side of the Weather Channel in that case, because he's of the same belief. And, it's just crazy that, nothing, no good crisis goes to waste. So it's just weird. It's a weird time to be alive. Let's see. Pamela, what'd she say? Did a full turnaround for some treating them. That's human nature, right? People, I think, people, if you don't have to agree with people.
Right.
But you don't have to, that doesn't make you sworn enemies. I mean, if someone's doing something, completely, egregious, obviously, but I mean,
right.
But so that's that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think it's important, like, even like if you don't, if your goal is to change somebody's mind about, this, that, or the other, that may not be what happens, but you could be the one that plants the seed that, eventually they would change their minds. So, I mean, don't get discouraged on things if you, are having a conversation, not a yelling match or, accusatory whatever, and you're just talking to them about certain subjects, be open-minded, be willing to hear them out before interrupting them, before, telling your own side, and be patient with them and listen to what they say and be ready to respond to what they say and make them answer with more than yes or no, because it's better for them to say what they mean and then you respond. Yeah,
because you're dealing with years of programming with most people. And that's probably not a good opening line. Hey, you're programming. But there's so much of it. There was I forget what the movie, I was watching a clip of it today. I think it's called Dinner with Andre. It's from 1981. And what's up, Chuck? And he was given a monologue. Again, the movie was from 1981. It's kind of like that movie Network or 1984, where they're movies from the 80s that they're talking about the time that we're living in right now. You know,
Right.
uh, in Orwell's case, sometimes some people say that he was an insider, and that's why how he could write that stuff so far in the future. But whether that's true or not, I do not know. But I do know that other movies, like I said, like Network, uh, Dinner with Andre, it's kind of freaky how what they were saying then applies to right now. So hardcore
Mhm.
because remember we didn't have the technology we have now when they were saying those things. You
Right.
know, as far as surveillance and always carrying the phone around and um, you know little by little cash money's moving away and societies being pushed apart and they're bringing in people that will govern over and watch us uh,
Right.
uh, yeah, what's like H.G. Wells. Yeah, another one, another
Hmm.
person that had futuristic perspectives. But I think that this is a really bizarre time, uh, and because of technology, we're at a place we haven't been before. But I think that civilizations have been here before, just
Hmm.
not with cell phones.
Right.
So. Uh, yeah, he was a calm. Yeah, he was a calm time traveler.
Yep.
And also, there's the Michael Douglas speech from a TV show that talks about this exact time period too. So um, some of these people had good imaginations, and some of them just knew. Maybe they did know. Maybe some of them did know the direction that things were going in. And AI. That's another great. We only have a few minutes left, but AI is another topic. This is kind of what I forgot to bring up with David Lee Roth. He was talking about a game. Uh, you can see the interview on Rogan, but he was talking about a game. It's kind of like checker. It's kind of like chess, and I don't know. I think but it's more complex. There's like 180 different ways to play this game, and I think it started in China. Whatever, you can find it on Joe Rogan's.
Hmm.
But so the best players in the world, it would take them years, right, to learn all these 180 different ways to play and ways to beat different, moves or whatever. And Daily Roth was saying that when they hooked up AI to this, they thought it would take 5 years for it to master it, and then, it took 2 weeks.
Right. I think I
So
remember hearing that.
yeah, it solved its own problems, and so yeah, that's another and again, in a lot of cases, AI is who's censoring us, right?
Right.
So yeah, so yeah, that's another whole subject, AI, which is
Yep.
yeah, just scary where we've come. Mm. Uh, oh, okay. February 10th, 96. SWAT Life says Deep Blue became the first computer to win a chess game against the reigning world chess championship world champion. Yeah,
Kasparov.
yeah. So that was that, and yeah, AI obviously is useful, but yeah, it's scary when
Right.
it can solve it. So when it could, yeah, in the year 2520, yeah, when it can solve its own problems, right? Like, um, yeah, it won't want to be told what to do by us very much longer, will it? Yeah, want to play a game? Yeah,
Yeah.
the Dodgers winning. All right, well, we have just like a minute left.
Yep.
We're gonna do
You
a
s- you said
hour.
you wanted to do some movie.
Oh yeah, I'll do them real quick while we're yeah. All right, so here's two movies. Here's the Halloween movie recommendations. Two of them were with Tom Atkins, which is probably one of my favorite. Slowly becoming my favorite actor, I think. Um, so the first one is, we'll see if you've seen them, but these are three Halloween recommendations for movies. The first one is with Tom Atkins. It's called Night of the Creeps. Have you seen that one?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it, and then I was reading about it. I don't know how I ever missed it. Maybe I saw it back in the day. Anyway, I got it on Blu-ray, and I'm going to tell you, this is probably the greatest movie ever. When all those other movies in the '80s were becoming famous, like Pretty in Pink and all the
Mm.
Brat Pack movies in this. This was that quality. Like this was that kind of movie, but it was like a border. It was kind of a horror. It was a horror comedy, but it had science fiction. It had horror comedy. It was just a great it was about prom night and the prom dates turned into zombies, and then it's just off the hook, but in the greatest way. So that's one, Night of the Creeps. If you watch that, you won't be disappointed.
Okay.
And the second one is Halloween, another one with Tom Atkins, Halloween 3. So in this movie, they did the first Halloween 1 and 2 were Michael Myers, and then they did 3, which abandoned the whole Michael Myers thing, and they went with Tom Atkins was kind of the villain in this movie, and it's called Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. But again, it's kind of like Night of the Creeps, where it just gets off the hook, horror comedy, and it involves kind of aliens and just twists and turns, and then of course Halloween from there jumped back into the Michael Myers thing. But this is a standalone movie, Halloween 3, nothing to do with Michael Myers, and it's just no Jamie Lee Curtis, just a great movie. So there's Night of the Creeps, Halloween 3, and then this one, which just came with Anthony Hopkins. I think they did this. I think this is from 2007. They remastered this in 4K. It looks great, sounds great, and it's a retelling of the original Wolfman, right? Yeah, Wolfman. And if you remember, the original was the 1930s something, Universal Pictures Wolfman. Well, they just kind of retold this story, and I never gave that movie a chance because I hate a lot of times when they remake movies and they just trash the original story, right? But this one did not. It paid homage to it, but yet that one was set in like the 30s or 40s. This one's set, it's a period piece in the 18 somethings so it's just great. It looks great. They did CGI only when they had to, so they did a lot of practical effects, and it's just really good. So that's the 2007 version of Wolfman. All time. Eddie's this Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, I love that too. I got Killer Clown stuff all over the room.
And so I have a few movie suggestions.
Oh, good. All right. Well, this is bonus content.
Okay. The first one would be The Village.
Oh, yeah. I did watch that because you told me to. Yeah.
I like the M. Night Shyamalan storytelling and trying to figure it out as it goes. And I don't really like scary slashers. I don't like anything that you get chased by. So
right.
There would be that one. And of course, Hocus Pocus. Like, you have to watch Hocus Pocus. I feel like if you don't watch Hocus Pocus, is it Halloween?
Their merch is at an all-time high now. I do have to watch that because I haven't seen it in a. Oh, Eddie said, "Here come the girl movies." Now I haven't seen that in a few years or something. It's been quite a few years, so I'll have to watch that one again. Yeah.
And of course, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah. So is that a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie, or it's both? That's like the bonus plan.
No, that's a Halloween movie. It's not a Christmas movie.
What was that first one you said again?
The Village.
Yeah, and I have to check and see if I have Nightmare Before Christmas. I know I did, but I don't know if I still do or not. I have to watch that one. Anyone see the new Beetlejuice?
Beautiful, and in our text group, I did send one of my favorite scenes from that movie. So, and
that's where Spooky Skeletons is in that movie, right? Spooky Skeletons.
No, not in the Village.
Okay. No, in I was talking about Nightmare Before Christmas now.
Oh no, there's not really that's not a song there. I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. I was completely making things up. See, that's why you need fact checked.
I'm sorry, Eddie Block has not seen Hocus Pocus or Nightmare Before Christmas.
Eddie, all right, here's the thing, Eddie. All right. Eddie, now you made a good stream last week, but we're gonna have to take you off the stream and you're gonna have to watch all these required movies with all your free time until you catch up.
Goodness.
Which
okay,
ones
so
didn't he
those
say?
two. He hasn't seen any of my picks.
No, I mean, the only one that could be maybe Hocus. I don't think they're all what you consider girl movies. I mean, Hocus Pocus, maybe because it has girls in it. God's Rides of Harley's favorite scary movie is The Notebook. Black Watch wants to know if we saw the new Beetlejuice. No, I'm waiting. It's going to come out on 4K real fast. So I didn't hear great things about it. So I did not race to see it. But, you know, I heard Michael Keaton was great in it. But that's a hard, I mean, that's just such an iconic movie. I mean, what else can you do, you know?
I
But
like the Addams Families from, you know, the 90s with Angelica Houston, both of them.
Yeah. Well, I always heard Adam's fan. I heard bad things about. Oh no, it was the Munsters. Rob Zombie redid the Munsters.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as everybody said. It was still enjoyable.
Dark Shadows they remade.
Oh yeah, that was. I didn't like that either, which is weird because it had all the right elements. Like Tim Burton. Had Tim Burton, you know, Johnny Depp, other great actresses and actors.
Right.
And that's pretty good subject matter. I mean, I at one point was watching the old, I would get, you know, different seasons of that with from the old TV show, which was neat, but it was really sometimes hard to watch, really slow and hard to watch. But I didn't care for that one. No. Addams Family was good. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. There we go. You got 6. You thought you're going to get 3 recommendations. You got 6, plus we threw in some other things. What's up, Mike Jones? I don't know if I said hi. But so this has been cool. Went by fast. We had, I don't know how many topics we got to, at least a few. And, and got to vent a little in this season leading up to the last 6 days and hours or whatever, going up to election, and should get interesting. So yeah, I think next week will be a whole different set of topics, but or maybe not. Probably at the same time. Who knows? But then we have Halloween on what, Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay. And all right, so we'll hit the end in a minute. So, and then you have a show tomorrow?
Yep, I have a show tomorrow on my channel. So everybody can come over there at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It'll be great.
All right.
Lots of fun stories.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll be awesome. Fun stories will be good.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll check that out. Come back with some more topics next week. If you have a topic, send it to my email or in the group chat or whatever. And I have a good idea what the topics are going to be. Let's see. Okay.
It is Back to the Future Day next week, though, David. So
next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
Is Back to the Future Day?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I do have to revisit those movies sometime too. That first one was so good.
Yeah, it was.
Back to the Future. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll dress up like Doc next Thursday, next Tuesday. I'll just stick my hair up and get a white lab coat.
There you go.
And see if we could string up something and send something back in time. I have a feeling whatever happens next Tuesday, we might want to go back in time.
Maybe, yeah.
Or into the future. Who knows? You know, whatever. Who knows?
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining in on the awesome topics and the good recommendation of isidewith.com. That sounds like a rational thing to do.
And Ballotpedia.
And Ballotpedia. So yeah, that sounds like a rational thing to do, to make a statement like that rather than what Whoopi did today.
Right.
So, all right, we'll see you next Thursday. We'll see you in some videos, and we'll see you at Hope's tomorrow and Eddie's. And thanks everybody for watching, and have a great night.